Hello, everyone. Welcome to Call the Moon Live, starring.
Me, Crystal Greatsword.
Who wrote the fic?
Yes.
Yes, she wrote the fic.
Narrated by.
Me, Chibi Chen, also the voice of Byakuran.
And with additional voices of.
The guy named Sky. Hello. Well, that's my introduction. You want me to do anything better?
I think that's about it. And if other people pop up, they'll show up in this little Skype thingamajig up here. So, ready when you are.
Alright, let me just take one last drink of some sweet tea.
So let me get ready for a second.
Why isn't Saki on Toho 13? Alright, insane references and babbling out of the way. Call of the Moon, Chapter 2, as luck would have it. Okami hurried back to the temple, lugging her small amount of belongings in a bag slung over her shoulder. She came to the front door of the main building and entered after knocking. Byakuran was sitting inside talking to a tiger yokai. And her weapon is an ancient artifact. So since you are the user of the jeweled pagoda, you can help her out, Byakuran was saying.
Wait, you want me to show?
Whoever's next.
Alright then, yes, I see. I'll do what I can, Byakuran-sama.
The tiger yokai replied, bowing. Byakuran peeked over the tiger yokai's shoulder to see Okami standing by the door. She greeted her with a warm smile. There's Okami right there.
Sorry.
Okami, I'd like to introduce you to Sho Toramaru, my right-hand disciple here at the temple. She is the user of the jeweled pagoda. She nodded and spoke. Sho.
It's a pleasure. It is a pleasure to meet you, Okami. I hope we can be friends. Good friends.
Okami noticed the pagoda resting on Sho's right hand. The immense power radiating from it made the hairs on her wolf ear stand on end. Sho, please show Okami the room she will be staying in, Byakuran said, gesturing to the tiger yokai. Sho nodded, bowed, and then turned to face Okami.
Follow me, please.
Sho said as she started to head down a hallway lined with doors. Okami followed, holding her bag of belongings at her side. Sho came to a halt at a room at the very end of the hall. Gesturing to the door, Sho said,
This is your room, Okami. Make yourself comfortable.
Okami slid open the door and took a look at what was to be her bedroom. There was a futon laid out in the corner and a desk. Kind of like
my own room, but nicer. I'll be comfortable here.
Okami thought to herself, haphazardly throwing her bag into the room and closing the door.
I'll get set up later.
Sho gave Okami a tour of the Miarn temple grounds, explaining what each area is and what it is for. Sho came to a halt at the training grounds, gesturing towards the surrounding area.
This is where the monks train in their arts.
Sho explained. Okami's attention was elsewhere, however. Standing by a training dummy, poking at it lazily with a trident, was a yokai of some kind.
No way.
Sho called. The yokai looked up.
What is it?
She asked with a rather sharp edge to her voice.
Who's that?
Nue pointed to Okami, who blinked.
Your name is Nue?
Okami asked.
I was late. Sorry about that.
She replied, twirling her trident.
You mean the Nue of legend?
Okami sputtered, her eyes widening.
Yeah.
Nue replied, raising her eyebrow. Okami bowed repeatedly and sputtered.
It's an honor to meet you. You're legendary. Oh my, I can't believe I actually get to meet you. I heard legends when I was younger, and I can't believe I get to meet you. I looked up to you when I was little. Can't believe it.
Nue stared at the young yokai, her face deadpan, her brow furrowed in thought as she mentally analyzed the paragraph Okami spouted.
Are you calling me old?
Nue spoke in a dangerous voice. A flare of panic lit up Okami's eyes, and she instinctively stepped back.
No, that's not what I meant at all.
Okami stuttered, shaking her head and stepping back. Nue ignored her and raised her trident, taking a step forward. Okami yelped and ducked as the undefined yokai swung her weapon. Sho instinctively stepped back as well. Nue's eyes followed Okami and she went for another strike. Okami leapt back a step to dodge the attack and rolled to Nue's other side so she could escape the blows more easily. She looked up and saw a blur of black, red, and blue heading straight for her. Okami instinctively raised her hands and grabbed the prongs of Nue's trident just as it was about to poke her eyes out. Nue scoffed and tried to yank the trident out of Okami's grip, but Okami held tightly.
Please stop. I'm sorry I insulted you. I didn't mean it.
Okami wailed, trying to stop Nue's rage.
Just because you're younger than me doesn't mean you can rude.
Rub it in my
Doesn't mean you can rude it on my face. Rub it on my face. Sorry. You little squirt.
Nue growled, trying to yank her trident back. With a grunt, Nue pulled her trident towards her, bringing Okami along with it. Nue let go of the trident and grabbed Okami in a chokehold. The younger yokai let out a garbled cry. What is the meaning of this? You two, stop fighting this instant! Byakuran shouted, storming over to the scuffle, Sho following in her wake. Sho, grab Okami, I'll get Nue off of her, she ordered her disciple, who nodded promptly. Byakuran grabbed Nue by the shoulders and pulled her away from Okami while Sho held the wolf steady. Okami gasped for air as she tried to catch her breath. Both of you, don't be immature, Byakuran scolded the two yokai, shaking her head.
I'm sorry. It was my fault.
Okami said, bowing repeatedly to Byakuran and Nue.
I accidentally insulted Nue and she got angry at me. I should have been more careful with my words.
That's fine, Okami. You didn't mean it, Byakuran replied with a smile. Nue, on the other hand, rolled her eyes and scoffed, shooting a glare at Okami. Now it's time for dinner, so why don't we all make our way to the table? The four of them began to make their way over there. Okami nervously twiddled her fingers as she followed Byakuran's lead. Byakuran slid open the doors and walked into the Mioran Temple dining room. Inside, Okami saw a ship phantom. I have no idea to say that. I'm sorry. A
Mudo
user, a tanuki, and a yamabiko before her, and Nazrin at the end of the dinner table. Shu and Nue went and took a seat. Byakuran stayed with Okami, seeing as Okami looked like she was about to throw up due to nervousness. Everyone, this is Okami. She will be staying here with us, Byakuran spoke, gesturing to Okami, who waved nervously. Byakuran turned to Okami and introduced each person. This is Murasa, the ship phantom, Ichirin, the Nuedon user, Mamizao, the Tanuki, and Kyoko, the Yamabiko. Oh, that was read by Okami. My bad.
Oh well, let's just keep going.
Okami recited in her head. Byakuran sat down and Okami took the last empty seat next to Yokiko.
Next to who?
This is Kyoko. This is Murasa.
Fine, I'll do it. So, Byakuran-sama, When is Scruffy Wolf here gonna be staying with us?
Marasa asked with a mouthful of food.
Scruffy wolf.
Okami repeated under her breath. Okami is here to learn more about her weapon. Sho and I are going to help her with that. However, Sho and I are busy, and Okami is a younger yokai, so I need someone to keep an eye on her training while we're not around. Byakuran explained, taking a sip of her tea. Nue is going to be in charge of that. You the spit take. Nue sprayed the tea that she was drinking all over the face of the person sitting across from her, which happened to be Ichirin. The Nuedon user sighed and removed her soaking wet hood, putting it off to the side.
Me? Why do I have to watch over that little squirt?
Nue complained, scowling. Because I said so, Nue dear, Byakuran replied in a sing-song voice. You seemed to get along just fine with her earlier, and you need something to occupy your time, seeing as you spend most of it sitting around.
Yes. Byakuran-sama.
Nue responded, sending glares at Okami. Okami was frozen into her seat, staring at the plate of food and avoiding Nue's gaze. She had a bad feeling in the pit of her stomach.
End of chapter 2.
Yes. Sorry.
Pizza.
Sorry about the
Pizza.
sorry about some voice acting.
What? Pizza.
Yes.
Yeah, pizza.
That was easier to do than I thought.
So did I do good with my voices for the characters?
You did all right.
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah.
I don't think that one person should have 3 characters, though. That's just me.
Yes.
So
I was kind of thinking that Spastic would take the Marasa.
Oh.
Yeah, me too.
Well, in a subsequent stream, I can take Marasa.
Yeah, more. I don't know the voices. I seem to be best with New Way.
I wonder if I should take part in this in the next chapter.
Well, are we going to do the next chapter now, or are we going to save it for another time?
We'll save it for next week.
Yeah, we need to
Okay.
eat this pizza anyway.
That, was
Eat the
actually the
gigantic
power
pizza.
flickering.
Big blue pizza.
Ah,
Katie Cat Studios, Yukari, the end.
Alrighty, I'm
Sad
gonna
but
save
true.
that.
Yeah, excuse me. I'll be diving into that pizza. I need it.
Nice.
I don't even know who I am here.